Experience Cyclone Filter Cleaner, the smarter, faster way to clean your pool filter. Tired of slow and messy filter cleaning that leaves your back hurting? Cyclone Filter Cleaner changes that. Now you can clean 4 filters in 15 minutes. Designed by pool pros, its spinning action reaches deep into every pleat without you bending over. Just connect your hose, slide the filter on, and watch the magic happen. Clean smarter, faster, and easier with Cyclone Filter Cleaner.
Hey Pool Pros, tired of roasting under the sun and gear that doesn't hold up? Revved Up Apparel has your back with SPF protected apparel made for the pool pro. Want to stand out from the competition? Done. No minimum orders, no inventory stress. We handle the design, posting, printing, and fulfillment, so you can focus on the grind. Whether you're a single poler or managing a whole fleet, this is how you gear up smart and stay sharp. Check out RevvedUpApparel.com. Built for the pool pro, designed for the proud.
Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Vac Bags, a global brand that's locally owned and operated, providing pool debris bags to pool guys in SoCal, so your pool can be debris-free for the weekend. More info at vacbags.com, VACBAGZ.com.
This episode is brought to you by Skimmer. Trusted by over 30,000 pool service pros across North America, Skimmer software helps you save time, grow revenue, and boost your 5-star reviews. Whether you're just starting out or owning the market, Skimmer's easy-to-use tools and expert support have you covered. Upgrade your business in 2025 with Skimmer. Visit getskimmer.com/tip of the day to try Skimmer for free for 30 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride, and listen to the big homie Pete the Pool Guy. Dropping game, keep it real, put the knowledge on deck. From backyard pools to collecting them checks. Ain't no gimmicks, no stress, just some free flow talk. Breaking bread, building up, gotta walk that walk. From the chlorine to the hustle, every move got a plan. If you work it the right way, you can level up, man. Pool Full podcast, let's vibe. Game so deep, let's ride. From the valley to the masses, we know. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Pool Full podcast, let's vibe. Game so deep, let's ride. From the valley to the masses, we know. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Pete the Pool Guy. You already know you're here at the Pool Fool Podcast, where we talk about pools, business, and everything in between. On today's episode, we got my homie Zach from Pineapple Pool Boys. What's up, Zach?
Hey, what's going on, Pete?
Nothing much, man. I wanted to bring you in here because you got to go to the expo, the Vegas Expo, the pool, spa, and patio expo. I didn't get to go. I had everything paid off. Everything was ready for me to go, and something came up. I couldn't be there. But you got to be there, so you're going to let us know how it went, what you learned, and what information you could share to the viewers.
Cool. Sound good.
All right. So take it away, Zach.
All right. So this is my first time at this particular pool show. We have a tiny one here in Phoenix, a desert pool and spa show, and it's not very good. So I like to try and go out of state at least once a year to go to a different show. Normally we go to Long Beach. We went there this year in February, but this one just happened to line up when we were taking our fall week off of service to do filter cleans, but we had a crazy stormy August and September, so I was working on those ahead of time anyway. So we were able to go to the show. I was only able to bring one tech this time because the other one actually got married when he went to Costa Rica with his lady. So they had like a little elopement. They didn't tell anybody. They just came back married. Um, so I took my one tech, David. And unfortunately, like the week before the show, he sprained his ankle pretty bad playing soccer. So I was glad that we had the week off the next week to
Hmm.
help rest. But then we're at a pool show, and the Vegas Pool Show is massive. Like that convention center is enormous. So luckily we had a shuttle from our hotel every morning and every evening could take us to and from and drop us right off at the door. So that was nice. But he was limping around. He had a brace on his ankle and he had a cane with him too. So everybody thought the
I
cane
saw I saw that. I was like, oh dang, big
everybody thought the
pimpin'.
cane was like a gimmick, like part of a costume he was doing, but he actually needed it.
He looked like a
But
pimp, dog.
so that expo floor is gigantic and not a ton of it really related to like the pool service guy. A lot of it was like more for like builders and hardscapers because it had like the patio part and like there was like just a lot of like hardscaping stuff there. But I didn't realize how big like swim spas were getting. I mean, like in popularity and in size. Like these things are fucking huge. Excuse my language, but
No, you good, you
they
good.
they were some of these were huge, dude, like 15, 20,000 gallon swim spas. I was like, good God. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, for the money, like way cheaper than building a in-ground pool.
Really?
And you can drop them in the ground. Like you can dig a hole and drop them in there and have it be like only like a foot above the ground, which I thought was pretty cool. And with using those, I guess you can get around some regulations with like how far away your pool has to be from like your door or your wall and stuff like that. Because if they're above ground, the regulation doesn't really apply because if you put a pool like a foot outside your door, you could just walk out and fall in, but you can't really do that if it's 3 feet up in the air or off the ground, I should say.
Yeah.
But those were everywhere. Like that was probably like 10% of the show floor was like swim spas and hot tubs.
Damn.
I thought that was,
Yeah.
but we didn't do it. We didn't do the expo classes because Pool Nation was having their conference there, and I'm in their business matrix program, so that was all free for us and my employee to come. And so they had like hands-on training, which unfortunately we didn't get to do because like it's all like stacked on top of each other, like going on at the same time. So they had like hands-on stuff with like doing shaft seals and like wiring heaters and that kind of stuff. And then they had their technical track, which was like chemistry and stuff that like the pool tech is going to need to know while he's in the backyard. And then the other one that I was in was all about business classes. So it was like learning your cost of service, how to price, like different KPIs to track and how to track them. And a lot of classes on like leadership and development and management and stuff like that. So that's what I wanted to go for. But I wanted both my techs to be able to go, but only one went, but to be in those more like technical classes with chemistry and stuff like that.
So did he end up going to those classes?
Yeah. So the expo classes were like they're like $400 to go per person. But they were at the same time as the Pool Nation stuff. So we just went to the Pool Nation stuff.
Gotcha.
Um, but he did some classes on chemistry. He did some classes on they had some like hydraulic classes. They had a class all about acid washing. So that was cool for him to be able to go to. But yeah, the expo floor was just enormous. Like we walked around like one whole day on Thursday, and I feel like we didn't even see like half of it. But it was cool. It was a good show. It was a big show. I saw a lot of people there. It was cool. Like it's so weird as being like a smaller pool company like myself. I have two techs and like I'll have random people walk up to me because they see my Instagram and they're like, "Hey man, I've been following you. I've been watching your videos. You really helped me out those last like year or so. Like I'm really new and I don't even." So he's like, "I watch your videos like all the time." So I would pull up like a handful of other profiles. I'm like, "Hey, do you follow this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy?" I'm like, "These are who I learned from. These are who I follow. Like you should follow these guys."
Yeah.
So that was cool. It's always a
I
little
think
weird though.
that's the cool thing though. That's real cool because you get to actually meet the people that are following you. You know what I mean? You don't realize how many people follow you, especially you're getting a lot of followers as well. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to care about one of my business coaches calls them vanity metrics. He's like the likes and the views and the followers don't matter if they're not buying
They don't
from
make you money.
if they're not buying from you, then like it's just a vanity metric to make you feel good. It's a
Yeah.
dopamine hit. Which sometimes, you can, like, I've seen some guys kind of go down the rabbit hole of that, where they're trying to just post stuff for views and I don't know, clout online. But I'm looking to post stuff that like local people can find and start following me and start trusting me and getting to know me and hire us.
So you're posting for clients, for potential clients.
That's what I'm posting for. Yeah, is like, hey, I'm a real person. I'm just a regular guy. I live in the area. There's no PE money here. Like, if you hire us, you're gonna see me or the other two guys that are in my videos. Like, that's it.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm posting it for. But I see some guys, it seems like they're kind of going down the rabbit hole of just trying to get likes and follows, which it is what it is. I guess you can springboard that into other stuff, other ways to make money.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like mostly just trying to establish some sort of credit in the
Yeah.
community with like local
Well,
followers.
there's three different avenues. You're posting for potential clients to grow your business, or you're posting to educate pool techs and have that community with other pool techs and learn from each other and stuff like that, or teach other pool techs. And then there's also the, like you said, the looking for clout, just for the likes. So
Yeah, and I like being able to kind of share the stuff I've learned along the way, whether it's from people in person or people on Instagram when I've watched their videos. Like, I like being able to be that reason for other guys. But that's not the main reason, but it's a cool side effect.
what are your thoughts on what some pool guys will say, like, man, but now you're teaching customers our secrets, or you're teaching customers how to do things, so you're you know what I mean?
I have YouTube.
I know.
Like, I don't think the customer is like searching out pool guys on Instagram to learn how to uh, fix a heater.
Yeah.
They might be, I don't know, but they're not going to find that on my page because I'm not tearing apart heaters. But if they learn some chemistry from me and it helps them save some money or take care of their pool better, then they're probably also going to call me when something is out of hand that they can't figure out themselves. So they'll probably call me. So that's just that's like establishing some credit and some authority in the space. And I've had plenty of people that like they'll call me like, hey, I take care of my own pool, but like I can't figure out where these air bubbles are coming from in my return lines. And I tried everything. And I'm like, have you rebuilt all your valves? Have you changed out all the O-rings, your pump
All the
lid?
O-rings from the suction side. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, just try these things. And they're like, oh, it seems like a lot. Like, can you just come do it? I'm like, yeah, sure. It's going to be $125 an hour. And that includes like the parts and the O-rings and stuff. And they're like, okay, that's fine. I'm like, it'll probably be about 2 hours to do everything and troubleshoot. You know, I- I'll go make a couple $100 in a couple hours to establish a relationship with a potential new client. Maybe they're gonna eventually maybe they get too busy, maybe they get an injury, they can't do their pool anymore. They call you, you take over, they keep you, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm not too worried about homeowners learning my secrets.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's crazy is that this whole week I've been sick. I got sick on last weekend. Cough, fever, the whole nine, right? But I still kept working. But I was like, you know what? I just I didn't do a Pool Fool podcast episode because I was sick. And then I was like, you know what? I didn't post nothing all week long. Like I was not on social media. I just dropped off.
You worked,
You know? And dude, I kind of liked it. It kind of felt refreshing. Like I didn't feel like, all right, I got to do a video about this, or I should do a video about that, or worrying about this, or like the whole everything that comes with being part of social media, and it felt kind of like a mini vacation if you think about it, because I wasn't stressing about that stuff. Like I was going and just focusing on my work and doing what I was supposed to do, and then coming home and taking care of the kids and doing the family thing. But for the most part, it was just work-wise. It was just I got to focus on what I was doing at that time.
Especially you're not operating 100%. So
Yeah. On top of that.
stuff that takes you 10 minutes is now taking you 15 minutes. So you're like, I don't have the time to whip out my phone and record this, but
Yeah, and or the energy, bro. That was the big one. Like I'm brushing halfway through the pool, I'm like huffing and
tired,
puffing.
fatigue.
Yeah. I can't catch my breath. I'm like, damn, man. But I was like, you know what? I'm just keep on cruising, keep on doing it. It took me longer though. I'm not gonna lie.
Slow and steady.
Like my day was longer for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen. One thing I did want to bring up that I think all of your listeners that are fellow pool guys will like is the one thing that I did buy at the show, and there's a reel on my Instagram from there that the company made and like did a collaboration post. I got this custom RFID business card from a company called One Tap Connect, and they call them micro sites. So it's like,
But
it's
don't you
basically,
have the dot? Don't you have that dot thing? You're the one that said about the phone just tap.
bro, this is way better than dot, like way better.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll email you the link, and maybe you can share your screen and show people. What's a good email address for you?
Coachella Valley Pools at yahoo.com. I don't know if I'll be able to do it though, cause of I'm not tech savvy when it comes down to that kind of stuff, like sharing other screens. But if you want to show it on the screen,
you can look at it yourself later. They call it a micro site or a micro app. So they pulled all the information off of my Instagram overnight. Like I met them on Thursday when I was walking the show. They showed me the product, and I was like, they're like, hey, the show special is 50% off, and you get the whole accessory package for free. But normally it's like a la carte, like add whatever. Basically, this thing is like an RFID tap system for phones, and it pulls up this website that they made for me overnight. And
it
so
looks like the Instagram, an Instagram page, to be honest.
Kind of. But then like, so if you hit like save contact, with the dot card, it's like 10 clicks, but this just pulls up your contact card. You hit create new contact. Boom.
Dude, I hit contact and it went straight to a text.
Oh, that's connect. So like
connect.
That's connect. So that's another cool thing. Like if somebody stops you at the grocery store or the gas station and you tap your card to their phone and you want to get their information real quick, you just say, hey, tap connect and hit send. And then it sends you a text message from their phone. So now you have their information too.
Yeah, the text message says, hi there, it's Zach. Please click the link below so we can share contact info. That's really cool. And then it has they could either email you, call you, text you, add to contacts, or they could add your information to the contacts. Then it links up with your Instagram profile, so they're able to see your profile, your Instagram posts as you're posting them.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Down, they
service
have like before and afters. You can like where it says service and repairs, like
pool service repairs.
I can change that so it doesn't like hyperlink to my Instagram. That it'll just like I can have videos like playing and like what's included with our service. Why are we different than other people? And then like on the repairs side, I can have videos of repairs we've done, stuff like that. Like you can customize every field between videos, pictures, text.
Yo.
Well, yeah, you're on there.
Pool Podcast is on there. It shows what episode you're on.
Yeah, they'll take you right to it.
That is, yes, it says listen now. It says in this episode of the Pool Podcast, we sit down with Zach. Yeah, the bio. Cool. And then it shows the before and after photos, gallery. Dog, this is sick.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I'm gonna have to get one. I'm getting one of these.
Like for bigger team, like the administrator gets another app on their phone where you can track the data analytics of like how many times your team members are sharing it, how many views of the microsite that people have looked at it, like how long they've been looking on it for. It can even tell you like, so I was showing it to some reps that, they rep like 15 or 20 companies.
Right.
And they're like, can we track the traffic of like, if I have somebody tap and get my microsite and then I rep like 15 different companies, can I track the traffic to, like how many views are going to each different company's website or whatever? And so I didn't know the answer to that question. So I went and I called the owner of this company, and I was like, hey, Charlie, I've gotten a couple questions from some people about tracking the data analytics, like when going to another site from your One Dot Connect or One Tap Connect. And he was like, yes and no, like you can't pull it, but you could go to your client and ask them to pull their Google Analytics and it'll tell them how many site visits they got that originated from your microsite. So I thought that was pretty cool because, like, you know, guys will
Yeah.
represent, like, they'll represent like Pool RX, and then they'll represent like Magic Jack stain remover. They'll rep somebody else, so like they can track how many times people have gone to look at Magic Jack's website from their microsite.
So what exactly do you get? A business card? Different kind of business cards, like 100 of them? Like, how do they work?
No,
Or
so
is it
like,
just a QR code?
well, it has the QR code on it, but this is like an RFID card, so I can tap it to your phone, and like, and then the little link just pops up. And so they
Okay.
also have a
But
bracelet.
it's not something you give to the
Oh,
client.
no,
Okay.
because they're gonna lose it. So you just tap it on their phone and then you save it. But the cool thing is like, so if you open that and then you go like you're gonna share it to somebody, like on the bottom, you know, or depends on what browser you're using. But you go
Yeah.
like you're gonna share the link. If you scroll down, there's a button that says add to home screen. So then if you hit that and you add it to your home screen, now my logo lives on that person's home screen,
Like an app.
like an ad. And if they ever need me,
Yo.
you say, hey, I'm just one tap away, tap on that, and then you can call, text, or email me. And if you have like a Calendly or a booking software, you can link that as well. If you have like an intake form, you can put the form there so that they can fill out information that you need and it sends it right to your inbox.
So is this something? Oh, dude, this my mind's going crazy right now. This is something we could actually give all our clients and be like, hey, to contact me, this is how you contact me now.
Yep.
Yo.
You can link
Okay.
your website to it. You can link your Google reviews to it. Like it'll just pull Google reviews and have that scrolling on there the whole time. You can link your
That's
YouTube. So, like,
legit.
I'm gonna create a YouTube channel. I might not even make it public. I might just have it like a private YouTube channel, but because then I can embed the videos into there. So like I want to embed a bunch of videos like when and why do you need to drain your pool? What's an acid wash and when should you do it and when should you not do it? Like
What about even simple stuff like how to clean your pump basket? You know, and that's
you can
stuff
do all
that the
sorts of
client
stuff like that.
itself, you know what I mean? Like the client, they're like, instead of me having to drive all the way over there because you don't know how to prime the pump or something like that, the
Mhm.
client's trying to get it going. I don't have to drive, so they'll figure it out.
Yeah, you can have all sorts like people. You could make quick little videos with like each different style, like automation or pump of like how to turn it off and empty the pump basket and how to turn it back on and all that kind of stuff. So like, I want to create like a video library on a YouTube page, but then I can rip those over so they don't have to go to my YouTube. Like it all is right there. Like call me, text me, email me, look at our before and afters, look at what we offer, and then have like a video there. And it could be educational, it could be sales. Like you could be running a special on, hey, for the next 60 days, we're doing $300 off of a pump install. And you can blast that out to your clients and be like, hey, just want to let you guys know that the first, like, I'm probably gonna have it be like the first video on there is always like whatever special we're running. So
Yeah,
it might be like $200 off an acid wash or whatever it is.
that makes sense. I like
So
it.
it's just a crazy marketing tool.
But what's that?
And then the
And the
other
name?
cool thing is I don't have a website. So
Huh?
I could go onto like GoDaddy or another domain service and I could purchase like a pineapplepoolboys.com and then I can set up domain forwarding. So like if anyone ever Googles pineapplepoolboys.com, like that web link will pop up and then they click on it, but then it's just going to force them to this website, to this microsite.
This will be your like your home hub.
Yeah, so it's basically a landing page, but like it's just unlimited fields. Like it could be freaking, you could be scrolling on a thing forever. It could be crazy long.
Dude, this is sick. And you already got a lot of good stuff on here, especially with the gallery and the before and afters.
Yeah, and
This
so
is
I
the
had
kind
my
of
onboarding meeting with them last week, and they taught me how to like change that because they did all of that overnight, dude. Like at 3 p.m. on Thursday at the show, I met them and paid for it. And when I woke up at 6 in the morning the next day, I had emails in my inbox. It was like, here's your microsite. It's done. Click this link. Let us know if you want us to change anything. Come by the booth. We have all your stuff ready. I was like, damn, they did that like super fast.
That's crazy. And it's called One Tap Connect.
Yeah.
One Tap Connect. And how much did it cost?
At the show, it was 1,275. And because it's basically a one-time setup fee and then a continued maintenance. They teach you how to do everything on there, but if you're too busy or you're not tech savvy or you try and you mess it up, like you can just send them an email and tell them, like, hey, I'm trying to embed this video. Here's the link to it. I'm trying to have that go in this section and it's not working. And they'll just do it for you. Or they can set up a Zoom and show you, like maybe you were missing a step. They can show you what to do.
Dang. But you said it was what, 1,200?
Yeah, it was almost $1,300, but that was the show. That was a show special. That was like half
So it's
off.
probably like 15.
I think it's like $2,500.
Damn.
But it's essentially a website. So I mean, if
It
you're gonna
is.
pay someone to go create you a website, but then you don't get like the RFID thing, you don't get all this other stuff, you don't get the data. Well, you probably get the data analytics, but it's super easy for you to be able just to look at it and be like, hey, I have 3 guys that have this, and one of them just never uses it. So then you can just not renew his package for the following year. Like he's not, or coach him and train him to use it more. Like my
Mm,
guys have them, but they're not in a sales role.
no.
They're a pool service tech. So like I got them for him because it was included and free at the show. But on theirs, like how, like my picture pops up on that, like it'll be a picture of them, but the call, text, email will all still come to me.
Hmm.
So like if they get stopped at a grocery store because they're wearing our branded shirts, they can be like, oh yeah, here, tap this real quick, and you can call, text, email. That'll go straight to the owner. Um, but you can look at what we do, and you can look at all the videos. Like all that'll be there on their site.
So if you decided to do it, if you decided to do some sort of like, I don't know, sale bonus, like, hey, for every customer that actually books us for your text, be like, I'm gonna give you this much money for every single new customer, so that they could actively be trying to get more clients. Is
Yeah,
there,
and I
you
do
think
that
there's
for
a
him. I
way
do
to
that for
track
him
that?
anyways. Yeah, there's a way to track that, but I do that for him anyways. Like if a neighbor comes out and asks them about service, and they give the person my information, like on our work shirts, we have a QR code that goes to my dot business card. So when I do my next set of ordering, I'm going to change it to this QR code.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I already incentivize them, but again, they're not sales. They're not in sales. I don't want them to worry about sales as much as just taking care of the pool that they're at. Um, but yeah, you like, especially if you have like if you're a larger company and you have a sales team, like you have 3, 4, 5 sales guys, that's all they do is sales. It could be extremely valuable for that.
So you could get the card. You said you could get a bracelet as well.
Yeah, you get a bracelet, and you can also get like a keychain fob, which is like a little tiny thing that sits on your keychain with RFID on it. Also, like it's pretty crazy. I like the guy
It's
sold me
yeah.
instantly. I was like, how much money is it? Just take my money. Like, give me a.
Dude, it's sick. I'm looking at it. I'm going through it. I'm going through yours, and I like it. I like like you said, you could put videos, the services that you offer. You could put how to contact you, the services. What else? You do the pictures, the Instagram, anything that you've been on, anything that you pretty much want to add on to it. You could add on to it. So it's basically your website.
Yeah, it's a business card and website all in one.
Yeah. Dude, that's sick. That's sick.
It's freaking cool. I was like, I'm sold. And it was funny because like the guy from Only Pools was walking by, and I know him through Pool Nation. And then another couple was walking by, and they also own another pool service company in I think they're in Northern California. And I was like, hey guys, come check this out. And then they ended up buying it. So I told the owner of the company, I was like, hey bro, I'm gonna need an affiliate link because I know so many people that could benefit from this. Like that don't have a website, or they have a shitty website that they spent $2,000 getting created or whatever. But like you can link your payment links to that thing.
What?
Like I said, like a Calendly or like a booking
Are you
software.
serious?
Yeah, you can. It's
So they could pay their bill from here as well.
they could, yeah.
Yo, okay. Okay. And what processors do they use, do you know?
I think they just integrate with whatever. Like, and so I didn't get too far into that because for me, I like all that already goes through our CRM stuff. So like that wasn't a huge selling point to me. So I didn't ask too many questions about it, but they said you can set up payment links to it. So I don't know if that would be like if you can just I don't know if that means like you can link like your Zelle or your Venmo to it, or if you could
Mm.
like your Stripe or whatever payment processor you use to it. Um, but if that's something that I wanted to utilize, I could just schedule a meeting with them and they could walk me through my options.
Yo, I'm on their site right now because that's not a bad idea at all. And it says something about starting at $20 a month. Master the art of client acquisition, starting at
Yeah, so I
$20 a
think
month.
that's like the ongoing cost. So like the first year you pay for like the whole setup fee and stuff, and then it includes 12 months of this product for you and your guys. And by that I mean like your RFID stuff.
Yeah.
Like the website you have forever. Um, but the ability to have the RFID taps that go to it is like on a subscription, and it's $192 if you pay for the whole year all at once. So it's like it's less than $20 a month. And at the end of the day, you know, if you're doing a few $100,000 in revenue, like, do you really care about $200 a year? If
Nah,
it's,
not
if it's
really.
something that if it's something that you're going to utilize to generate you even more revenue, especially. But we
Well,
also
this is one
say,
of those.
you know,
Uh,
order 2,000 business cards. What's that cost? A few $100s. And
mm-hmm.
those business cards are going to end up in the trash. They're not going to generate you any business.
No, not really. This way, you're saving yourself that. But this is a product that's gonna help you make money. So this is something that's gonna make sense for you to invest in.
100%. I saw that right away. I was like, this is genius.
Yeah,
It
add
was
to
funny
home
because
screen.
the guy, like when he sold me, like he saw us walking by in our branded shirts, and he was just like, "Hey, how many Pineapple Pool Boys are there?" And I was like, "Oh, there's 3 of us, but only 2 here right now." He's like, "Oh, do you have a card?" And I pull out my phone, and I'm like, "No, but I have this dot QR code on here." So I don't know what he's selling. We're just walking by. I just know it's not pool stuff. So we're just walking by, and he stops us, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, here, scan this." And he's like, "Oh, dot cards. Like, let me do my 17 clicks to save it." Like he's dogging it. And then he's like, "Do you mind if I give you my contact information?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he has the bracelet on, so he just goes to tap this, and the thing pops up, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And he's going through there. Uh, he goes, "Oh, do you mind if I send myself a text from your phone so I have your information?" And he hits that connect button, boom, text goes out. Um, and then he asked me, he's like, do I have permission to save this to your home screen so you can fully utilize it? And I was like, sure. So then he goes to share, and he scrolls down, add to home screen, and then we close it all out, and then boom, now his face is on my phone. And he's like, "If you ever need me, just open this up and you can call, text, or email me or schedule a meeting."
That
I was like,
fast.
dude, that's dope. And then so he's on his phone scrolling, and he's like, "Pool service, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Here's another pool company we did." Boom, shows me like their profile. And I'm like, "Dude, this is slick." And he's like, "Yeah, here's like we did it for roofers, we did it for real estate agents, interior designers, electricians, plumbers, like all these people." And I'm like, "Oh my God, like this is like I've never seen this before. This is crazy." And so I was like, "All right, how much is it?" And then I bought it.
I seriously thought it was gonna be the same thing as Dot, but Dot is just a tap and that's it, huh? With the information and that's it. It's not
That's
like
literally
a
content.
full. Yeah, yeah. It's not a full website.
So I'm just like, this is like if you know someone stops you at the gas station or the grocery store or whatever, or even like at a Leslie's, if you're going into Leslie's to grab something and somebody wants your information, how much more of an impact does this make versus, "Oh, here's my business card."
There's a couple Leslie's that let you put your business cards there. You could put a business card with that QR code, huh? And they could just tap.
Yeah.
Chee!
Or
I,
you just use the QR code you get, which is on here, but also it's on the app, so I can get it on my phone, and I could you know send it to my email, and create a flyer or something to put at the register at Leslie's instead of a stack of physical business cards the person's supposed to
yeah, they could
give them.
just
They can just scan the QR code, and boom, they have
scan it.
that. But think about the difference that makes in their mind about you and your company versus, "Here, take my card and maybe call me," versus,
Right.
"Open this link up
Or I
and
don't have
you
any.
can."
I ran out of cards. Here's my number. Write it down.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You look. First of all, you look a lot more professional, and second of all, I mean, you're. They could see that you're investing in your company, so you care about your company, and hell yeah,
it's
you
just a
do.
completely different mindset that the potential client's going to have about you just from that alone. Like your first interaction was so seamless on sharing your information, but now they can go back and they can watch all these videos and look at all these before and afters and hit one button and go to my Instagram. So
I
I
like it.
was like, this is crazy. So like that's probably like my biggest takeaway I had from the show was this product. And I've done nothing but talk about it for like 2 weeks, and I've shown it to so many people. But even my existing clients, you know, we go by for whatever, and I knock on the door to see if they're home, and they answer, and I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" They're like, "Oh, is everything okay with the pool?" I'm like, "Oh no, yeah, you're good. Everything's fine. But I just wanted to share this with you. Like, here, tap this on your phone real quick. Can I save this on your home screen?" And they're like, "Sure." They're kind of confused. I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
So then I save it on there, and then my logo pops up.
Don't worry, it's just a virus.
Yeah, my logo pops up on their phone, and I'm like, so now, like, if your friends ever ask for anything, like, or you need me, like, you obviously know where I am storing your contacts, but you could also just open this up and you can call, text, or email me, or you can share it with one of your friends. If they need a pool guy, like, you can share this with them instead of sending them my contact, which might be like Zach Pool Guy.
You're right. This gives them everything. They can see everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays, this is more of like, they could see your actual work. You know,
Yeah.
with the before and after photos, they could actually see, oh, dude, this is what he does. He's done
You can
this
have
stuff.
before and after videos. Like, if you intentionally went out and made a before and after video, like we do all the time for an Instagram post,
Right.
you can just put that video onto YouTube. So, like, you can do that. You can do it from Instagram or Facebook, but they said that the way that the Meta, like, security settings are, like, sometimes they don't work right. But they said,
And you can't just upload it directly, the video, from your phone?
no, it has to be a URL.
Okay.
So they said YouTube and Vimeo work perfectly every time, but sometimes there will be videos with, like, when they were uploading one of them from my Instagram, like when they included like the captions, like the description, it didn't work right. But then if they hit a button and didn't include that, it uploaded just fine.
Mm.
So, like, just weird little stuff like that because of the meta settings. But so that's why I said I'm just gonna make a YouTube page, and I'm gonna, put a video library on there, and I can, change out which videos are on the site whenever I want, just by switching the URL on the back end.
It seems like a really, really good product. I'm intrigued. I'm not gonna lie. It seems kind of steep, but
Well,
it seems worth
and
it.
it does, but it's like, you're trying to grow your tile cleaning stuff. So if you were able to put a bunch of tile clean videos before and afters and explain the process of what is a tile clean, which kind of media do I use? Do I change my media based off what type of tile I'm blasting or what type of stone I'm blasting? And you can educate the client on it. And then if they like it, they can hit your Calendly and book a Zoom or an in-person estimate.
Yeah. I'm looking at
Or you
the
can create like an intake form. Give me your name, your number, your email address. What services are you looking for? What questions do you have? And now you have all that information, and you can reach out and call them.
I see nothing but payment plans on the app, on the actual app. I only see one, and that's for the team member. Build at $576 for the year plus $699 one-time setup fee. Oh, so that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, then you're doing, because they have the professional with your first impression for individuals, just for individuals, not for a team. This is like just for the pool guy himself.
Yeah,
It's
so I think the 2,500 price was like the team price, which is what they were
yeah,
offering
you
at
got
the
that.
show.
Yeah, because the individual one says it's $16 a month, and it's billed at $192 for the year.
Mm-hmm. So I think like that.
Yeah.
I think the big number is going to be like the setup, and then the 192 a year is just like your annual subscription fee.
Yeah.
But
Save up to
I was just like,
yeah.
I'm done. I'm sold.
Yeah, I think I'm sold too. I'm just gonna have to get it approved by the big
By the
boss.
boss.
You already know, bro.
You know, open up that purse
Shoot.
string, baby.
What else did you do out there?
It was a very social show. So, like, we drove. We got in on Wednesday afternoon, checked into the hotel. David wanted to ice his ankle for a little bit, so we kicked it at the hotel and relaxed. And then we went down to the show for like an hour. There was this like young professionals mixer thing that you could sign up for, that I think the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance was hosting. So they just had free drinks, and it was kind of like a happy hour. But then, so we went to that for like an hour, and then we went.
Is that the one you did by the pool where you did the interview with?
No, that was before that. So then we went to the show's like welcome party thing. I think that was sponsored by Hasa. I could be wrong, but I think it. No, Hasa did. They were the sponsor for the Pool Nation
the after
award
party
show after the award show. I forget who was the sponsor of the welcome party, but it was like $50, and your drinks and your food were included. And that was at that day club with the pools outside. And they had rented that out for just the pool show people, so that was pretty cool. But that's where I met the guys from Poolology.
Yeah.
The guy that looks like he's Blake from Workaholics.
Workaholics, yeah.
Uh, I saw him when we were walking on our way to that welcome party thing, and I was like, oh, I think that's the guy from Poology. And then he walked past me, but because I didn't have my sunglasses on, and he found me later, and he was like, bro, I had to do a double take, and we were wearing our custom baseball jerseys, and our logo is the entire back of the jersey. And so like when we
Nice.
walked past him, he turned around and saw it, and he goes, oh, that's the pineapple bowl guy. Um, so then he came and found me, and we filmed a few pieces of content, just like his little, like, what's a trend that you see that you don't like, and then we did another one.
I saw that one.
I haven't, dude. They took so many videos. Like they're still working on editing them. They probably took like 400 or 500 videos while they were there.
Wow. Well, that's he's the like social media person. He's the one that does all that. That's all he does.
Yeah.
So that's really
So,
cool.
but he
Yeah.
also has a full-time videographer and a full-time video editor. So the
Bro.
three of them just roll around making content. And I was like, do you guys do any paid ads? And he goes, oh yeah, we do a ton of paid ads, but I'm not in Texas, so I never see those. I only ever see the organic posts. But yeah, like that's their full-time job, dude, is creating content for their, so like it was funny because I didn't know anything about their company. So I was like, how you guys a big company, a small company? And he was like, oh, we're like medium size. He's like, we have like 100. And so I thought he meant service clients because I knew that they build pools. So I was like, oh, 100 service clients. I was like, do you only service the pools that you guys build? And he was like, oh, no, we service a bunch of pools. And I was like, I thought you just said 100. And he goes, no, we have like 100 employees. I was like, dude, that's a
What the hell? Bro, that's not small. What the hell is he talking about?
I was like, that's a gigantic pool company.
Bro, that's the biggest one I met, yo. Man, that's crazy.
So he was cool to get to know. Like he started in pool sales and design. Then he bounced around from a couple companies, and then he came to work for Poology a few years ago, and he started servicing pools for them. And he had never serviced pools before. He'd only been in sales and design. And then so like a year in, he asked the owners, he's like, hey, can I get back into sales and design? Like that's where I came from. That's what I really enjoy. And they were like, oh, we have enough sales guys, but we are looking to go a different direction with our marketing. And then so like that's how they started all their videos with him as like the kind of the face of the company. And it was funny because he prefaced it. He was like, that I'm not the owner of the company, right?
Yeah.
He's like, people think that all the time because it's my face. And
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know for sure that you weren't the owner, but I didn't think you were. I thought you were just like the personality of the brand.
Yeah.
But it's a really interesting way that they did it. Like, I don't know any other pool companies that, rather than using like a social media marketing company, like decided just to make their own in-house.
Dude, they have 100 employees. I think they could do it. Definitely. I got a hold of whoever's in charge of their Instagram, and because I reached out for them to be on the Pool Food podcast, and they agreed, and that's in the works right now. They wanted a list of the questions, all that good stuff, but yeah, they asked me, who do you want to interview? And I was like, wait, I'd said the same thing. I thought he was the owner of the company. You know what I mean? So they're like, no, he's just the marketing guy or the guy from social media. But if you want to have a conversation with the owner, we could do that as well. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
That guy's super cool. We ended up hanging out with him. The last night we were there, we met up with him at, where were we? I think we were at Treasure Island, maybe. And there was like an arcade bar that he wanted to go check out. So we went and found that and hung out at the arcade bar for a little bit, had a couple of drinks, and I was like, let's talk about something that's not pools.
Yeah.
We're talking about pools for like 4 or 5 days. Like, who are you? What do you like to do for fun? That kind of stuff. So that was cool to kind of like break away from like, let's just talk about pools and pool service and pumps and chemistry. Like, let's talk about something else. So that was cool. It's nice.
What
to
time
get
did
to know
you show
people
up?
Personal. To the show?
Mm-hmm.
We got there Wednesday, like around like 2 or 3 p.m. And then we stayed until we drove home Sunday morning. So we were there all day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
And you also went to the award show?
Yeah, we went to the Pool Nation Awards. That was cool. It was long. It was like 4 hours. They have so many awards. but I didn't even know that they had one for best truck wrap, and I'm getting my truck wrapped in February. Because my truck's older. It's a 2010, but I only have like 160,000 miles on it, and it's a Nissan Frontier. So I was like, oh, this thing's gonna last another 100,000 miles minimum. So, but the paint's all messed up because it's old and we're in Arizona. So I have to get it sandblasted. Like I have to take all the paint off and then I have to reprime it so that they can wrap it. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna need to be without a truck for like at least 7 to 10 days for all that to happen. So I'm like, all right, me and my wife are going to Italy in February. So I was like, that's gonna be the perfect time. So I'm gonna line that all up so that when I come back, my truck is wrapped. But I was like, I'm gonna win best truck wrap next year for the Pool Nation Awards.
There you go. There you go. Slight little flex though. Where you going again?
What? Oh,
Where you,
we're going to Italy we're going to Italy for the majority of the time. We're going to Rome, and then we're going to Florence, and then Venice, and then we're going to
you're gonna
Milan.
hop around.
Then we're going to Milan, the reason we're going on this trip in the first place is because we're going to the Winter Olympics in Milan. My wife's been wanting to go to Italy and Europe for a long time, and I'm just not a huge guy that loves to travel across the world. But she was like, "Oh, I bet if we do it during the Winter Olympics and we go watch some hockey, that he'll go." So,
I'm there.
so she got me with that. So we're gonna go to Milan. We're gonna see 2 hockey games. We're gonna see a semifinal game, and then we're gonna see the bronze medal game, which I'm pretty excited about. And then we're gonna go up to Zurich for a few days, and then we're gonna end in Germany in Munich and fly home from Munich because it's like way cheaper to fly home from Germany than it is from Italy.
How do you handle your route when you're gone?
Well, luckily I've got my 2 employees. I only do about 10 stops a week, so they're just gonna have to cover those. And one of my buddies, Galen, he owns a different pool service company, and like last year he went on a cruise for like 2 weeks, and he just gave me his business phone, and he's like, "Hey, if there's any fires, just put them out. Like if a customer's pump dies or whatever, like go get a new one put in and pump on my account at distribution." And just he's like, "I'll pay you like all the profit except for like 10%. Is that fair?" And I was like, "Sure." But nothing
Yeah.
happened. There was no emergency. It was smooth sailing. So I think we're just going to do something similar. When I go out of town, you're just going to kind of babysit the business side while my techs handle all the service and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the
I'll have my
questions a lot.
laptop. I'll have my cell phone. Like if I absolutely have to do something or answer a question or a call, I can. But like I'm not going to be available. Like there's also a huge
Hell no, bro.
there's also a huge time difference. So like when they're servicing pools, I'm probably going to be sleeping. So
Yeah, and the last thing you want, I mean, the last thing your wife wants is for you to be picking up the phone.
oh, 100%. So I don't want to be worried about work. But yeah, over the next few months, we're going to be, kind of moving some more responsibilities over to the guys and getting them used to that, and you know, intentionally thinking about a game plan for when I'm gone for 3 weeks. But it'll be a test. They say you don't have a business unless you can turn your phone off and leave for 2 weeks and come back and slow the business. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a long time. I mean, myself, what I do is I'll take half a week off. The most I'll take is a week, and that's super rare, like really rare. Like for Thanksgiving, I'll take whenever it lands on Thanksgiving. Usually lands on like a Thursday.
Yeah, it's always
So
on
I'll take
Thursday.
Yeah, so I'll take Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, like the half of the week. Um, but I'm like, man, I'm getting burned out, so I'm like, I'm gonna just do the whole week. Like for Thanksgiving, I'm gonna
We've
do the
always
whole
done the
week.
whole week of Thanksgiving, and then we always do, depends on where Christmas falls, because we like to take off. Like we'll usually work we'll work on Christmas Eve, and then we take off from the 25th, and we come back up to work on the 2nd. So we take off from Christmas to New Year's, and we don't work New Year's
That's what I
till
was
like,
thinking of doing. That's exactly how I was thinking of doing for Christmas. Work up to Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve. All right,
Christmas
because
is on a
Christmas
Thursday.
Eve, because
Christmas is on a
Christmas,
Thursday.
yeah, but Christmas Eve is usually when you celebrate Christmas. That's when you're with the family and the cooking and all that,
Some
right?
people,
And then
yeah, we
Christmas
don't.
Day,
We celebrate Christmas Day.
yeah, we do it Christmas Eve. Is when the whole family gets together. It's Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day is when you individually with your families. So
Yeah,
I'm
so
thinking I'm gonna do
we
that.
do Christmas morning like at home with the kids and the wife. And then Christmas night is when we'll usually go over to my wife's parents' house and have dinner there, and the kids will get to see their grandparents and their aunt and uncle and open presents from them and stuff like that. So Christmas, like working Christmas Eve really isn't a big deal, but I'll probably help the guys out a little bit and like work ahead on their route that week so that they can end at like 11's Eve and then have off for a full 7 days.
So for the pool guys that are just starting off that are listening and that are trying to figure out their vacation and how to tell their clients and how to set up their routes, and for maybe the guys that are single polers, what kind of advice do you got for them?
So when I was a single poler, and this hasn't changed from single pole to now, is it's in our welcome email, like it's in our service agreement, like, and I tell them this in person when we sign up, is billing is based off 4 weeks a month, so 48 visits a year. When the weeks fall where we're at your pool 5 times in a month, we don't charge you extra for that. We just bank those 4 weeks off a year. So we take a full week off in the spring, a full week off in the fall, and then we take off Thanksgiving and Christmas week. And I've had absolutely no pushback on that. The only thing is sometimes there's like an Airbnb that gets serviced twice a week. So we'll still service those pools, but we'll just do it once a week. So we'll usually do those like in the middle of the week, like on a Wednesday. And then the following week it picks back up and we do the twice a week rotation. And if people really, really, really want, service Christmas week, most people don't. Like
No.
they're and I tell them, I'm like, so, I'm gonna send out an email this week, this next week coming up, and I'm gonna say, hey, it's hot tub season. The last thing I want is for you to try and fire up your hot tub on Thanksgiving evening and it not work. So everybody go turn your pool heaters on, make sure they're working. Because I particularly don't love turning on pool heaters because like that's the one time you're gonna turn it on, something happens, and they're like, you broke it. So
Yeah.
we don't turn on pool heaters unless the client asks us to turn it on or show them how to turn it on. But so yeah, I do the same thing on Christmas. Like in early December, I'll send out an email like, hey, Christmas and New Year's are around the corner. If you haven't used your pool heater yet this season, go ahead and try and fire it up and let me know if there's any issues so we can get that fixed before you try and fire it up on Christmas or Christmas Eve night when all your family's over or whatever. Like, because I'm not coming out.
Right.
I'm not coming out on Christmas Eve. I'm not coming out on Christmas Day. I'm not coming out on New Year's Eve. I'm not working. I'm off. I'm with my family. So, I'm sure we can find another pool company that's working that day, but it's not going to be us that comes out.
Yeah.
But I've had that's in our, like I said, it's in our welcome email, our service agreement. We send out an email like, last week I sent out an email about Thanksgiving, like, hey, we're not working this week for Thanksgiving. If you have any questions about it, so call, text, email me. And then I reiterate that little blurb that's in our service agreement. Service is based off four visits a month, and we bank these weeks off, and this is one of the weeks that we're not working.
I like that. And for our listeners, if you have Airbnb properties or you have snowbirds, let's say snowbirds because they're not here. Like us here in California, we get a lot. I have a lot of them. So obviously they can go turn on the heater because they're not here. So for the ones that I'm physically gonna go turn on the heater, to cover my butt, I probably do a video.
Yeah.
Like do a video as soon as I walk in. Yeah, be like, all right, guys, all right, I'm here to turn on the heater, and record yourself turning on the heater. And as whatever happens, you're recording it. That way you cover your butt. Because I agree. Everybody's really, really quick to blame you if you're the one that presses start on or something and it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for sure.
We had one where we installed a pool light, and then like 9 months later, her breaker for her waterfall pump kept tripping, and she tried to blame that on the electrical work that we did when we put in the new light. And I was like, those two things are so completely unrelated. I'm like, they run off different breakers from your main panel, first of all. Second of all, they're unrelated. Like, there's no like commingling of wires for your pump and your light. Like, I was like, no, that's like, no. It's like, hey, ever since you replaced that light bulb on my porch, my sprinklers don't work anymore. It's like, well, that's
You're like, wait, what?
yeah. I was just like,
what
no.
does that got to do with me?
I was like, no, that's not how that works. But we can get someone out. We can get an electrician to come out and see where we're losing power, dropping power. Like, it's probably your breaker at your main panel. has been tripped so many times that it's tripping really easily, or your pump is pulling too many amps and it's tripping on purpose. Like that's the design. So
Right.
I'm like, no, it's not from the light we put in 9 months ago.
Yeah. I mean, don't be afraid to have them like don't be so quick to like jump on something like that. If that's not something that you handle, then tell them. You'd be like, hey man, call an electrician and come and take a look at it, or call a plumber and come and take a look at it if that's something
Well,
that
then
you
they
don't
find out
touch.
how much an electrician costs to come out, and they're no longer
Yeah.
interested. They're like, oh, this isn't an emergency anymore.
Yeah. Then you know what's crazy is that whenever they call an electrician, a plumber, AC guy, it's like, okay, automatically they know, okay, it's 150 for them just to show up. For example,
Minimum.
just to show up, not even do anything, just to show up. But it's crazy for us pool guys. It's like, hey, can you swing by the house and I don't know, turn on this or check this out real quick? And some customers are like, you're gonna charge me what? How much is to go? Why can't you just do it when you're there already? Like most of the time, have you gotten any customers that'll be like, while you're there, can you take a look at this to try to
Yeah.
kind of avoid any kind of payment?
Yeah, so like with stuff like that, it depends on what it is. Like if they're like, hey, the water level's a little low, can you check the auto filler? Like that's something that we should do anyway, so that's not going to be a charge. Um, if they're like, hey, my
Hey, the
lights
pool light's not working. The pool light's not working. Can
yeah,
you take a look at it?
so we'll go and check the GFCI and see if that's tripped. But like if that's not the issue, like that's going to require a separate thing to come out and test where we're losing power. You know, is this a power issue or is your light out?
Right.
So if it's anything beyond like something that we should do in the normal scope of pool service, then there's probably going to be like a service call type situation because, you know, if you're doing 17 pools in a day and they want you to do something that's going to take you an hour to do, like I don't have time for that today. I'm gonna have to schedule
Right.
a different day to come out.
But you're already there. But you're already there.
Yeah, but I have to keep moving.
Get that one. But you're already gonna be there. Can't you just take a look at it? I was like, I'll take a look at it, but I can't really do a full diagnostics because I need to actually bring my equipment and take a look at it and go through the process. Like it's not that easy. Well, can't you just take your stuff with you while you're I'm like, bro, like they're trying to avoid having to pay extra.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a communication thing. You just have to be honest with, I need to budget an hour to do that, and it might take longer than that, and I can't do that in the middle of my route today.
Yeah.
I think once you explain it, most people get it. They probably don't understand how involved it is to do what they're asking. So it's just an education thing. I feel like as long as you're clear and you communicate and you're honest with people, I think that usually works. And but you're gonna have some people that are always just trying to get stuff for free too. So you're gonna have to
But
kind of learn those people and
like I agree with that when it comes down to like homeowners, they live there, that's their house, whatever. Like I get those. Like that makes sense. They'll understand. But the ones that rent them out for Airbnbs, dude, any little thing, it's an emergency that needs to be taken care of right now.
yeah. So if I need to leave the route that I'm at to go and do something for you, one, I'm gonna have to reschedule probably at least a handful of pools from today or tomorrow. And maybe I'm 30 miles away from your house right now. So then you're gonna have to pay me for the drive time it takes. So like that's a service call.
Yeah.
It could be like, oh, the renters
The heater's not
un-
turning on.
the
Let's just
renters
say the heater's
unplugged the
not turning on.
vacuum. The renters unplugged
Oh
the
yeah.
vacuum from the wall. Like, can you go put it back in? I'm like, well, we're gonna be there in 2 days for service. Like, it's not an emergency. And they're like, oh, but can you just have someone go over there and plug it back in? I'm like, yeah, for $125. And they're like, what? And I'm like, is it an emergency or is it not an emergency? Because if it's an emergency, you don't care how much it costs to fix it.
Exactly.
Um, or it could be like, hey, the hot tub looks gross. And I'm like, well, this is why we should have twice a week services at Airbnb so that we're hitting it twice a week and we can find this problem. If we service it on a Wednesday and, someone checks out on a Thursday or a Friday and then new people check in on Sunday or whatever and the hot tub looks gross, it's like, well, if you want me to come out and drain it and clean it and do all that stuff, like I'm going to be there for 2 hours. That's $250. But would you rather pay me $250 and then get a good review and not have to credit the guest stay and do all that stuff? Or would you rather give them a credit for however many $100 for their visit because we couldn't get there for another 4 days to fix the problem. So with
Right.
Airbnbs, we almost require twice a week service for that type of reason, especially if they have an above ground hot tub. Uh, but again, that's just communication. You have to level set those types of things with clients when you sign them up. Like, hey, this is a short term rental? You know, our short term rental service starts at this price, and we come twice a week, and this is what it includes. And I tell them, I'm like, and they're like, oh, well, that's way more than the last company was. And I'm like, yeah, but why am I here? I'm here because the hot tub was always gross, and they didn't communicate with you, and it was resulting in bad reviews and lost bookings and refunds. And so you're going to spend that money somewhere, but you might as well spend it with prevention than reaction. And then you'll be able to charge more per night because you know that once a month that hot tub's getting drained, it's always going to look good. And every other month we purge it, and um, you know, whatever it is. But I think it's all that comes down to communication, I think.
If it's a minor repair, like you're gonna go switch out an autofill valve, or you're gonna go switch out a pump basket or a skimmer basket, or I don't know, something small. Do you charge just for the part, or do you charge with a 150 plus the part,
So
or do
if
you
it's
just
like,
do it when you're there?
well, so like if it's an autofill, I'll tell them, I'm like, hey, it's 125 to come out. That will include the valve, but if you just wait 2 days, we can replace it for $30. And then they're like, oh, let's just do the $30. I can wait 2 days.
Yeah.
So that's like, you want me to drop everything I'm doing right now and drive 20 minutes away to go replace this? Yeah, it's a $125 service call. And that'll include the $7 valve or whatever, whatever it is.
Right.
But yeah, I think all the business really comes down to communication. So as long as everybody's on the same page, then you avoid a lot of confrontation and headaches, I think.
And if you do the initial email with all the information, like you said, of everything, like you broke everything down right now, like I'm going blank, but that by giving them that initial email information, you could always send them back
You
to
revert
that.
back to it. You revert back to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember when we signed up and you signed this? It's not a contract. You can fire me whenever you want, and I can fire you whenever I want. But this is what you're going to expect from me. This is what I expect.
What is it? A service agreement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a month to month thing. Like I don't lock people in for a year. I know some guys that do that. I
Yeah.
personally don't like signing up for services like that. Like if my pest control guy was like, "Hey, you got to pay me for a year, and if you cancel, you still owe me," I'd be like, "Well, I'm canceling you because you suck. Like,
Right.
what do I still owe you for?" So
Right.
I
And
I
then
personally don't
the
want-
other side of that token is like I don't want to deal with the customer anymore. I don't want to deal with this guy now because I did a year contract. I'm stuck with them.
Yeah,
I got to put up with this, you know?
it should be a mutually beneficial relationship. Both parties should be happy, or you should break up. You don't want to stay in an abusive relationship.
Why is it got to be abusive?
Someone's abusing somebody. Someone's lying. Someone's not paying. Whatever it is.
Shoot.
But
Man.
before we go on too much on this topic, I want to kind of switch over
Handle.
to when you were asking me what I wanted to talk about today. I was like, oh, I can talk about the show, but also a couple avenues I'm exploring to try and really boost revenue by a couple $100,000 a year without having to go and get another 2 more service techs. So
Yes.
did you ever take at the Western, did you ever take any of the Alan Smith like acid washing classes?
No.
So they created this product called Microglass. I'm not sure if you've heard about Microglass. So Microglass can get applied in 2 ways. One, during a new build or a remodel, they mix it into the mix of the shotcrete that they spray. Or if it's an existing pool, what you do is you do they call it a detailed acid wash. So they teach their acid wash process in a very particular way. And I'm learning that in 2 weeks, or actually, well, not 2 full weeks. I'm learning it on the 17th from a company out here that got trained by the Microglass guys, and he's been doing this. He's a remodel. He does service repairs, remodels, and new builds, and he swears up and down by this Microglass product. But what it does is it chemically changes the calcium that's in the surface, and it makes it super, super hard. So like, it's kind of like changing your pool surface from like all pool surfaces are hard, but they're porous, right? So it's kind of like a marble stone, like as an analogy, like marble's hard, but it's porous. Where this, when you apply it, it chemically changes the calcium and it makes it like extremely hard and dense and not porous, like a granite type stone. So like that's kind of like the analogy I like to use is like you're basically changing your pool surface from like a marble type surface or material over to granite. And what it does is it makes the surface really resistant to stains from like algae or uh if a kid's Hot Wheel was sitting in there, like it's not gonna rust. It protects the surface from chemical damage. So like if your water is corrosive, it won't be able to actually etch the surface itself because the surface is protected by this barrier of this crazy hard calcium. And then also if your, water is scaling, it makes the acid wash much easier because you're not really cleaning the calcium from the surface. You're cleaning it from this new, I'm forgetting the scientific word for what the calcium changes to. But you're cleaning the scale off of that and not off of the pebble or the plaster.
Let
So
me
I'm
let
learning
me
how to do
let
that.
me let me dumb it down for me. So it's kind of like putting clear coat in the pool where
Kind of,
it's
and
a
it's not
protective layer, a hard protective layer on top of it that protects the actual plaster. Is
like
that what you
kind
mean?
of, but not really because you're not applying a product that goes over it. You're applying a product that chemically changes the surface. So it reacts with the calcium that's already in the surface.
So
And
it converts into something super hard that doesn't
yeah.
suck up any metals into the plaster. It doesn't suck anything into it anymore. And do you apply it? You mix it with the acid, or how does it work?
So the way that they teach it is you do it, they call it a detailed acid wash. So what you're going to do is you're going to acid wash the pool, but not with a watering can and not with a bug sprayer. You're going to have a trash can in the pool full of acid water with a small sump pump in there attached to a hose that's attached to like a lawn sprayer. And so you're going to spray the whole surface with acid like that. And you're going to have some bicarb down in the basin to neutralize. Um, and you're going to pump all that out and pressure wash the pool and pump all that out, and then you're going to do a bicarb bath. So you're going to repeat the process with the trash can, but you're going to make a bicarb solution, bicarb water, and so with the wand and everything, you're going to go spray that around. Then you're going to pressure wash it again. So now the surface has been acid washed, pressure washed twice, and neutralized with bicarbonate. Instead of just neutralizing the bowl, you're neutralizing the steps, the walls, the whole surface, everything, and that's going to help protect the surface because you do an acid wash, you wash it away the surface is still really acidic. So it can still keep eating away at the calcium, I mean, at your surface. Um, so then you neutralize the whole surface. Then you get like a power like fluffer, like a sander, and you buff out the whole surface and you make that surface real nice and smooth. Then you're going to use the microglass product with paint rollers, and you're going to roll it to apply it to the surface. And then
So you are applying it.
you
You're,
apply it, but like
yeah.
when you're applying it, it's chemically changing the calcium in the surface.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
what I'm
not
saying
like
is like
not
you're
like
not mixing it with the acid. You're not mixing it with the what? No, you're actually applying it. Like if you're putting paint.
you literally use paint rollers to apply it to the surface. That that service, instead of a drain and an acid wash for $700 to $1,200 depending on the pool, you're with the detailed acid wash and the microglass, like you're not going to be there for 2 hours. You're probably going to be there for like 6 or 7 hours. And you need 2 to 3 guys to do this process correctly. Like I said, instead of charging $1,000 for an acid wash, you're charging like $3 to $4 to $5,000 for this. And what this does is, like, if you have a client that their pool surface is in good shape, it's like 8 years old, they're not planning on being in that house for much longer, but maybe like until their kids get through school or whatever, but they're probably going to need to do a remodel in that time. What this does is it can kick that can down the road for like 15 to 20 or more years. So then when they go to sell the house, it's not like, shit, we need to remodel the pool. and or they're not having to deal with the buyers being able to beat them up on getting like a concession on the sale to redo the pool because it needs to be remodeled. So it helps extend the life of the surface by 10 plus years. And it depends on what the surface looks like before you do it. You're not going to want to do this to a surface that already needs to be remodeled, but it can
This is
help.
more for like a newer style pool, like something that
It
doesn't
really
have
depends. Like
cracks or
I've seen them.
chips or anything like that.
Yeah, I've seen it. It can go on plaster, quartz. It can go on pebble. Obviously, I don't think you like. I've only
Why
seen a
pebble
couple.
though?
What do you mean? Why would you put it on pebble?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like it's going to extend the life of the surface. So instead of having to do a $20,000 remodel in 7 years, you want to remodel this pool for 20 because the surface is going to be still great.
Hmm.
Like if
Do you
if
think people?
when they do a remodel or a new build and they put this fiberglass in the surface, it's like a 30 to a 50-year surface. It's not like a 15-year surface.
Do you think people are going to be willing to pay 3 to 4K for
They
an
are
acid
right now.
wash?
They are right now already. There's 3 companies out here doing it. But Microglass asked those guys like, "Hey, can we work with you? Can we set up like a training program so you can start teaching other pool guys one how to do a correct acid wash? Like as far as they're concerned, this is the way all acid washes should be done." And I don't think they're wrong. Uh, and then even if the client doesn't want to do the Microglass product because they don't want to spend 4 or 5 grand, if you do the acid wash this way with the um,
The
several different
steps.
washes, then instead of charging 1,000, you can easily charge 2,000, and you can explain to them the difference. And what one of the guys does is he'll tell if his clients are giving him some pushback on the price for the acid wash, he's like, call like 4 or 5 other companies, but ask them these questions. Ask them if they do this, and they're gonna say no. And I'm gonna tell you right now, face to face in person, why these steps are so important. And so when you go and call people and get their prices, just understand this is not apples to apples. They're doing a different service. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the wrong way to do it. And I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to like, can you explain the value and can you sell it? It's just like if a customer's pump burns out and they want to put in a rebuilt single speed motor and you're like, no, we should really move over to a variable speed pump with a warranty and it'll save you this much money and your pool's going to operate better, yada, yada, yada. Like that comes down to the individual pool guy and if he's knowledgeable and if he can sell. Because we're not pool guys. Like we're salesmen, we're problem solvers. We solve and prevent problems. And so I think that we just happen to clean pools, but we solve problems. We're in sales. Everyone's in sales. All businesses operate off sales. So I think educating yourself on the product and on the service and learning how to sell it is one step of the equation. And then 2, you need to learn how to do the service.
Explain the process one more time in regards to the steps so that the listener can actually jot this
Yeah.
down.
And I'm sure I'll learn more and be able to explain this in better detail after I go through the training. But so you do the acid wash and you're not using a watering can and you're not using a bug sprayer to spray a light coat of acid on the pool. You know, you're filling up a 55-gallon like yard trash can with acid and water, and you're using a sump pump attached to a garden hose that is then attached to like a wand with like a fan tip blade nozzle on it, and you're doing your acid wash that way. And obviously, like I said, you're neutralizing the acid water in the basin of the pool and pumping that out to the sewer clean out or wherever you're draining. Probably not the street, but uh, and then you're going to pressure wash and get the surface nice and clean. Then you're going to do a bicarbonate bath the same way you did the acid wash, but now you're neutralizing the entire surface instead of just neutralizing the bowl that's like what 3 feet around the drain cover. So you're neutralizing the entire surface and you're going to help preserve the entire surface. Then you're going to polish it and make it nice and smooth. Like a lot of people hate their Pebble Tech surface because when you're in there for an hour or two, it starts chewing up your toes and your kids come out with bloody toes. It happens to me at my house all the time. The kids will come in the house and they're like, I need a Band-Aid. And they're walking around the house tracking blood everywhere. I'm like, stop moving. Stay still. Go get the Band-Aid. Stop tracking the blood everywhere.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
But on the Microglass website, they also had videos where they had a pool with like 1,000 calcium nodules in it, and they sanded all those down, and they did the process, and they applied Microglass, and like 3 calcium nodules came back. And the customer was a little disappointed that there was 3 calcium nodules, and they're like, "Dude, we started with like 1,000." They're like, "We should be jumping for joy that there's only 3." So again, it's going to be just like when you sell an acid wash, you're going to need to make sure that you level set expectations. Like, hey, you haven't drained your pool in 7 years. This thing is going to be pretty thrashed, and we're going to do the best we can to clean it up. But it might look amazing when we're done. It might look a little better. It might look like we didn't do anything because of the amount of scale that's on the surface.
Right.
So I'm definitely looking at getting into that. Start doing that, even if it's just providing a better quality of an acid wash. And doubling your price versus a normal acid wash that most of us do. And then the other thing I really want to get into is installing the mesh pool fences. Because those are relatively easy to do. I've talked to a few guys that do them, and they're like, yeah, for your average pool, you might spend $1,000 to $1,500 on material, and one guy can install it in about 2 hours, and you're charging like $3,000 to $4,000 for that pool fence. So I'm just looking at these like really high price point sales that people need that provide value. Pool safety is a big one. You want to make sure that kids and dogs can't get to the pool and fall in. And also preserving the life of your surface. I mean, we're talking about in today's prices, $100,000 hole in your backyard, and resurface is expensive. It's $12,000 to $30,000 depending on like how big the pool is and what all is going into it. Are you redoing the tile and the deck as well? Are you changing the size of the spa? Are you adding a Baja shelf? All this other stuff. So like, because most people, if they don't particularly love their pool, when it's time to do a remodel, they're either gonna do the cheapest thing possible, or they're gonna like turn it into what they actually want. They're gonna spend a fortune. So I
Yeah.
think that in Arizona, the average homeowner moves every 7 years. So most people aren't even gonna be in the house when the pool needs to get remodeled. But if you're gonna be living there, like you bought a house with an existing pool, and the pool surface is like 8, 9, 10 years old, but it's still in really good shape, and you know that you're probably gonna still be there when it needs to get remodeled. If you do the microglass, you can most likely kick that can down the road so far that it's not going to be your problem anymore. It's going to be the next homeowner's problem.
Yeah.
And for
There's a
a small fraction of the cost of a new surface.
there's a company that sells that they've been in the expos. Their name escaped my head, and I was trying to look for them right now, but they sell grinders made for pools, specifically for pools that you use to be able to smoothen out pebble for what you were talking about. Like that's all they do is like the specific type of grinder that you could connect to your pole, and you could submerge it underwater or you could drain the pool, but it'll sand down the pebble. And I've seen them in the expo on the Long Beach one, and I saw them at the Vegas one, and I have their information, but I just couldn't find it right now, and I can't remember their names, but I know there's one out there.
Because they don't have this, and they're not living on your phone.
They didn't pop up on my home screen and on my phone.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. But anyways, it made me think of what you were saying. Whenever you want to sand down the pebble and then apply the microglass, that'd be a good combination, because that product, that specific grinder costs I think he said 14 to 1,500.
Yeah,
But once you have it, once you have it, you have it. Yeah, that's it. Like you could start offering just if you just wanted to offer that, just be like, hey, you know what? Have you ever thought about smoothing and making your pebble a lot more smoother so you're not scratching yourself? That's another service that you could offer as well. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these guys just use sandpaper on the end of a power sander. It looks like It looks like the long like wand that you would get with like a Milwaukee like hedge trimmer or something, and you just put a different attachment on the end, and you just use it to sand down and smooth out the surface. But I'm super excited to learn that and learn it from a guy that has tried every way possible to do an acid wash. And the the people that know him out here, like they pretty much all say hands down like he does the best acid washes in the state. And it's because he's doing it the way that Alan Smith and the guys out in California teach it. They teach this class at the Western. Um, but I'm not sure how many people take that class and then they apply the knowledge. Because it does take longer.
Right.
It does take longer. It's gonna require you to be a better salesman and explain the value. But that's kind of your job. It's kind of your job to make sure that you're looking out for your clients and protecting their investment. I think that if you are able to find that knowledge and you choose to not apply it, you're doing yourself and your clients a disservice.
Agree.
So it's all about like elevating yourself, elevating your company, raising the bar, like raising the industry standard. And because it's funny, because a lot of guys will reach out to the guy that's training me. His name is Mike. I don't know his last name because I asked him. So his company is called Stay Fresh Pools, and I was like, "Hey, Mike, what's your last name? I want to save it in my contact." He goes, "Stay Fresh." I'm like, did you legally change your name?" He's like, "No, that's just what I go by, Mike Stay Fresh." But it's fun. He's so funny. He's like, people think that I'm crazy on branding. That dude is like next level on branding. Like he,
He became his brand, bro.
yeah, one of my business coaches owns a roofing company out here, and they kind of live in the same area. And roofer has a razor, like a four-door razor, that he drives around with his kids around the neighborhood and takes them to the Circle K down the street on Sundays, and they get like sodas or snacks or whatever they get. And they went in there and they came out, and his daughter was like, "Hey, Dad, what's on the seat in the razor?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." And these two guys didn't know each other. Mike just saw, he was at the gas station and he saw this branded razor, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and throw a couple shirts and a couple hats in there, like of his company's hats and stuff." And so then I see on Instagram my business coach Jason posting this video, and he's like, "I don't even know who this dude is, but these hats and these shirts are fresh." Like I came out, he's like, "This is a sick logo and the branding is awesome." So I was just like, man, that's, you know, being your brand. My wife always makes fun of me because she's like, "Oh man, you got another pineapple." Like we'll get ready to go out and go somewhere, like go to the kids like soccer game, and I throw on a work shirt that has my logo on the front and back. And she's like, "Another pineapple?" She's like, "Can you ever just not wear one?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, people at the soccer field have pools.
Right, right. Just don't put that pineapple upside down.
No, no, not upside down. It's funny. I do get some weird looks sometimes, and I wonder if people are thinking that, or they're just like, "Holy shit, that's a huge logo. That guy's crazy." Like, I don't know why they're looking at me funny.
Nah, they're probably questioning, bro.
It might be. I've had that question a few times, and I just tell people, I'm like, "No, I don't share my wife. I don't know what you're into, but that's not what we do."
That sounds crazy. All right, Zach, anything else you want to share? What's your PIN
Oh,
number?
what's my PIN number?
Oh,
Saying
dude, I
that.
found them. It's called Coyote Pool Polishers. Look them up right now on Instagram. Coyote
How do
Pool
you spell it?
Polishers. Coyote, Coyote Pool Polishers. Polishers. Check them out.
Yeah, I found them. The other cool thing I liked about the show was I was able to meet the guy that created the Cyclone filter cleaner.
Nice. He was there?
Yeah, they were there, and
Cool.
I think they're from like Tennessee or North Carolina or something. So I was a little surprised to see him there. But I walked up to him and we were in our branded shirts, and I was like, "Hey guys, I just want to come over and say hi." He's like, "Oh, you tag us in videos all the time." He's like, "What's up? It's nice to meet you." And I was able to kind of give him some feedback on the system and on his product, and had a good
I
conversation with
think his
him.
name's Jordan.
Yeah, Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
Jordan, right?
it's him and his wife that run it, so I thought that was cool too. And like he was just a pool guy that found, and created a better mousetrap, as far as
Yeah.
filter cleaner stand goes. And now you got copycats coming out, kind of.
I was just gonna say that, man. I've been seeing a lot of copycats, a lot of them.
Yeah, but I like them a lot. Like one of my wands broke. Like I thought it was an O-ring, and I went to go change it, and a part of the wand was cracked, and he had known about that issue, and he redesigned it. So when I messaged him on Instagram, he's like, "Oh, I'll just send you out a new one. Like, what's
Yeah,
the address?" And then while we were there, he was like, "Hey, I got these like short ones. They're like half size wands." Because he's like, sometimes I'm trying to like choke up on it, but it's awkward. So he's like, "I made these
yeah,
smaller ones." And I was like, what you should do is on the next evolution, you should create it so you can swap out the tip between a fan blade and like a bullet nozzle, or you just sell two
like a
wands.
power washer.
Yeah. Or you just sell two wands, one with the fan blade and one with a bullet nozzle, because I don't know if you've noticed this, but depending on the type of debris, like whether it's dirt or it's like a lot of grass clippings or like leaves and stuff, if the pleats are really tight, sometimes the fan blade doesn't like get deep into the pleats. Like eventually it will. You'll just have to do more passes. But sometimes I'll abandon the wand and then I'll go get my bullet nozzle and I'll clean them like that.
Yeah,
I'll still use the cyclone so it's spinning. But
I end up stopping the cyclone, and I just
mhm.
with the wand,
Yeah,
just straight
sometimes you
down.
have to do that. But
Yeah,
I told him, I was like, dude, overall, like instead of us doing like 6 or 5 to 7 filter cleans in a day, like, and tapping out because your back is fatigued and you're tired, like,
yeah,
you can easily do 1 or 2 more than you would normally do because of this tool. And
definitely.
some guys get thrown off on it because of the price tag, and I'm like, you have to look at the bigger picture. Like, it's saving you so much time that you're able to do more work in the same amount of time. So, like, as far as I'm concerned, sure, $300 is kind of expensive for a filter cleaner stand. If you how much time is it gonna take you to build a prototype and then
Right.
find what you did wrong and fix it and like go through that process? Like
How do you handle the wobble though?
the wobble for me only really happens on like the big 500 series cartridges, and also when the water pressure is like crazy. Like if it's too much, you just walk back over to the hose spigot and turn it down a little bit, and it
Yeah,
won't wobble as much. But I feel like the wobble is when you're spinning it too fast. Like if you
I feel like it's
slow down
top
the spin,
heavy.
that's why like it's only with like the really tall cartridges that I experience that with. Like I don't experience that with the 300 series cartridges or the 400s. It's usually just like the big Pentair 520s or the Jandy, what is it, 560 square foot on the Jandies. Like those ones I think wobble more, but
But I think
overall,
it has to do, like you said, because of how fast you're spinning the cyclone, how fast you're spinning it. Because then you also have the tip, the top part will pop off.
but they
Yeah,
redesigned that too. So now they have it's like a rectangle that has different sizes. So now you can do like the single cartridge filters. Like you can just whether it's a regular size cartridge or like the bigger ones that are 200 or 250 square feet in one cartridge. They have a new top and a new bottom to it, so it has like different diameters. I have one, but I just don't use it very much because we only have a few of the single cartridge filters. I want to get more. I love the Aquastar filter, but with the Aquastar filter, you know how the pleats are a little further apart.
hmm
I also find that I use my bullet nozzle on those more than I do the fan blade wand because I need to be able to clean like a larger area all at once.
yeah,
So that's why
yeah.
if you guys created like a replaceable tip, or you just sold another wand with a different style tip on it, like that would be. I'm like I would buy.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Have you seen the new filter cleaner thing where it's 4 stands
Yeah, that's
for the
the
DE
filter cleaner
filter and
buddy.
all that? Yeah, what are
Um,
your thoughts on that?
I haven't used it. The guy that
But
created
just
that,
by the look at it,
the- I think for DE it would be helpful. I'm not sure that that would save me any time.
but why not just stand them against the wall?
That's what I do with DEs. Is
I
I
just
just
put them against the wall and they, vámonos, next one. You know what I
I do
mean?
that too, but I think it's probably going to depend on like where you're at, like in the country? Like, are you allowed to clean them in the street? Does your client not have any grass? Like, is it all just like, and because we used to, I actually dropped this client because of an aggressive dog, but there was nowhere to clean like a DE filter that was good on his property because it was rock, but it was like quarter minus. Like it wasn't really rock. It was just creating mud. So didn't have anywhere good to clean DE filters on his property. So I'd usually clean them in the street, and then I would rinse the mess down the gutter into like the clean out, into like the sewer clean out on the street. But we don't have regulations about that here the way that you guys do in California. So I'm wondering if that was just like a product of necessity. But I don't think so. That guy's company is VS Pool Care. I can't remember if he's in California or Florida. But he came out with it and he messaged me, and that was like right after I spent $1,000 on 3 cyclone filter cleaners. And I was like, nah, I'm good, bro. Like, good luck to you. But like, I love this product right now and I'm not switching. But I've seen a few pool guys in California that have been using that, that
I've seen it too. They'll stack up the 4 cartridge filters. They'll stack them up, but they don't spin. They don't do nothing. They just stand still. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, okay, that's all right. I'm gonna have to spin it the other way to be able to get to the other side. And then the angles that I seen them when they were cleaning at the angles and all that, I'm like, I was kind of turned off on it. But he did reach out to me, but
I think it could be a better mousetrap for a DE filter clean.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about the cartridge because to me, that's a little different than what I used to do, where I would use like an umbrella stand and I would put the cartridge on that.
Right.
I feel like that's just as efficient. Like, sure, I guess I don't have to take it off and put the new one on. I can just move. I think you're splitting hairs at that point. I'm not sure that's going to change.
And then think about it, when you're cleaning one of them, all the
other ones.
Yeah, all the blowback's going to the other one.
So I like that a lot about the Cyclone, is that you can like really like condense the mess down to like a maybe an 18-inch circle at the bottom of the.
It'd be cool if he applied some sort of shield from, because when they spin, they're just shooting everything everywhere. If it had some sort of C-shaped shield on it, so you're only spraying on this side, but all this side is covered, like around it, something like that. That'd be pretty cool.
If you don't spin it super fast, that spray doesn't go very far. Like and sometimes like
my feet are always full of mud, bro, by the time I'm done.
Yeah, I either wear waterproof like Merrell like water trail running shoes when I do filter cleans, or I just wear flip flops and just hose my feet off when I'm.
No, I got my waterproof boots, work boots. So I'm not tripping on that, but it's just more of like, cause what I do is I'll hit it down and then I'll hit it up a little extra one, and then I'll give it an extra spin super fast so it could dry up.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I found that does help is like I'll clean the bottom ring, the bottom section first, and then I'll go the top down, because I feel like all that dirt just accumulates at the very bottom, right? So I like to clean that off. Like sometimes I'll do the first 2, I'll spin it a couple, like each way a couple times, clean off those, and then I'll go the top down. And usually just like usually I do 2 spins. Like I'll spin it to the right all the way down, then I'll spin it to the left. I just do that twice, and then they're usually pretty freaking clean after that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I have to do one more pass, but that thing saves so much.
But that's. Yeah, I'm at the okay. So, my son wears retainers for his teeth, right? And that fool lost them, so it cost $700 for the replacement, right? So I said, oh, well, guess what you're gonna be doing? I'm gonna be bringing home filters, and you're gonna clean them. So he's in the backyard with the Cyclone filter cleaner. He sets them up. He cleans them, has them ready for me the next day so I could go put them back on. But I'm like, it's so easy, even a teenager could do it, bro.
My kids can do them sometimes. They're like, do you have any filter cleans so you can bring them home so we can make some money?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it depends, like time of year. Like I'm not going to leave the pool down in July. It depends. Like if they live within a few miles of the house, I might bring the cartridges home for them to clean. But like I'm not bringing
the filter back together though. Like I take the filters out, then put it back together and keep it running with no filters. So it's never non-operational.
Well, I mean, you could end up getting some debris and shit into your heater, or your salt cells, or pop-ups.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I don't do that, but
Yeah, I didn't think about that one, but because most when I'm taking out the filter, it's like obviously after the pool's been clean and it's only running for that day, so I'm bringing them back the next day. You know what I mean?
you're probably okay.
Yeah.
I probably would not do that on pop-up pools, or pools with heaters, unless they have a bypass. You can close the heater off.
Yeah, I got a lot of them with bypass.
Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much from the show. Like, Pool Nation classes were great. I'll plug that. I'll plug that Business Matrix program all day. Some guys don't like those guys, and I feel like those are the same guys that don't like people like you, that they think like they
No,
think
wait. People don't like me?
they some people think
Zach,
that some
hold
people
on.
think that Pete is
This is the first time I hear this.
sometimes
Whoa.
people think that they 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 only think that people should be speaking about things unless they're an expert at whatever they're speaking about. And I'm like, I think that what Pete's doing is trying to open up resources to guys that don't know where to look. And I've never once heard Pete say that he knows the best way to do everything, that he's an expert at everything. I've only ever heard Pete give other people a platform and ask them about their experience. And some people will be like, "Oh, well, the Pool Nation guys, like Edgar doesn't even do pools anymore, and I don't like the way that JJ does things." And I'm like, "You don't have to like everything they do.
Bro, they're
What they're doing is
providing
they're trying to
yeah.
create a curriculum and bring knowledge together." And I've heard guest speakers that come in at their conferences that did build pool companies for that 15,000 plus pools, and they started when they've been the owner for the last 20 years. They started out by themselves and now they've got all this. I'm like, I would love to hear that person's story and take away one nugget from, like, you don't gotta like replicate everything that somebody did, but like just take one thing that they said that you liked, and that you think you can apply to your business, that's going to help your business. People are haters. I think a lot of people are just haters. I think they're going to be haters no matter what. But I think that, the Pool Nation guys and what they've built is great. And it's only gonna get better. Like, they're working with Terry Arco from Hasa to create their
Yeah,
own
come
curriculum,
on. Yeah.
to have like a pool chemistry like certification that you can get through Pool Nation. And people are like, "Oh, well, you could just go take an Arenda class." I'm like, that's who they're having make the thing, dude. I'm like, unfortunately, Bob Lowry is no longer with us, but Terry Arco is like it was his like
Next runner up.
and so like now we have Terry Arco teaching these classes. Like, if Terry Arco's at a pool show, I'm going to his class.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm there. I'm there every single time. Nah, man, I'm like you said. I'm providing the information that I've learned throughout my experience. I'm providing a platform for people that actually know what they're talking about to be able to provide education. And I feel like Pool Nation does the same thing. Like, if you're attacking them because of Edgar or JJ or whatever, or Zach, it's like you're missing the point. It's not about them. It's about the information that they're providing, the knowledge.
They never make it about them either, is the other thing. It's like, people think that they're doing this for all this clout. I'm like, oh, who do they think they are? They can have an award show. I'm like, who told you that you're allowed to have a pool business? Like, you're
Right.
waiting for someone to give you permission to do something? Like, no, like, people that do shit are always going to have haters. And they're usually the people that don't do anything.
Right.
All they do is hate. And they're just salty.
Hey.
They're just salty. But
Dude, it's crazy because I slowed down a lot on a lot of my posts and a lot of the stuff that I do, because I started getting a lot of hate from different kind of pool guys, and like the specific ones that are out there. I call them my number one fans,
they
and
always see when I post something. They always see
dude,
it.
on my timeline, you could tell when somebody saw your video. You could tell when somebody looked at your profile. You could tell when bro, and it's always the same guys that love to talk, but they're always on the page. And I'm like, it's interesting to me because, okay, if you don't do anything, then you're not contributing anything to the pool community and trying to help people out. But whenever you put yourself on the spotlight and try to help people out by providing the information, they start coming at you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They're like,
I've only been doing pools full time since like April or May of 2022. Like there's so much information that I don't have yet that I'm looking for. And I need people to be putting it out there so I can find it. Like,
yeah. My biggest thing, and I think the issue that not a lot, but people have with me is that I'm very like, I may sometimes not use the right words. Does that make sense?
oh, they're like, he's not an expert. Did you hear what he said? And I'm like, you're missing the point.
Like that's not even the point. He's just trying to get it across in the way, the only way he knows how. He's trying to get it across for somebody to get that information and use it. Because these are all aha moments to me. These are all the tip of the day. That's where it started. Was literally me is like learning. Like, dude, like when I first started, I didn't know. Obviously, I didn't know nothing about pools, and then it was like, okay, how to clean out this pump basket without having to worry about the priming, or how to worry about this, or how to work. Okay, so I'm gonna do a tip so that whoever's out there and doesn't know how to do it, hey, now you know. You know what I mean? And it's like you start getting those comments that are like, oh, if you don't know how to do that, you should be hiring a real pool guy. Or
it's like, well, did you were you born with this knowledge or what? But it's funny because Max from Fresh Pools that you had on, he called me the other day and he made a story about it. He was just having a rough week last week, like those weeks where it's like not one day went smooth. Like there was
yeah,
something turned into 2 hours that was supposed to be 30 minutes. And I'm like,
yeah.
And you're stressing because you got more shit to do later, and then you have to push jobs, and so he was messing with this one pool. He couldn't get the pump to prime. He's like, I emptied the basket. And bro, it wouldn't prime after that. And
I saw his story. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple of really tiny little micro cracks that were in the pump lid. And I was like, you're gonna have to just go get a new pump lid, bro. Like that's the end of the day. Like you can try and backfill it with water with a hose with a hose with a bladder on it.
And it's still gonna get
you just need to go get a new lid.
You know what? That's a great tip of the day, because that's happened to me where it's like, dude, I'm there. It's happened where I'm like there for 2 hours trying to figure this. It won't prime. I'm putting the water hose here. I'm putting it over there. I'm waiting 10 minutes for it to fill up. It's just not happening. And there's no cracks on the lid. And most of the time it's hairline cracks, so you can't really even see them. But then there's also, you could get cracks on the lips, on the lip of the actual pump housing.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get internal cracks there that wherever you connect the lid to, right there, you'll get a little crack. And it's like, that's where it's at.
But it's just like, there's all those little things. And I like his perspective on it was, when he did his story, he was like, I was so frustrated. I was mad. I was tired. And he's like, but you know what? I need to go through this so that when I have techs and they call me, that I have that knowledge because I've done that before. I've been in the field and I can help them. It's like whether I'm helping future employees or I'm helping clients or I'm helping another pool guy, like this was just a lesson that I had to go through to learn to be able to be like, hey, did you check the lid for any micro fractures? Like hold it up to the sun and see if you can see any tiny little lines. That was a trick that I got taught like 2 years ago. I was going the same problem, and it turned out that there was one tiny little, and you wouldn't think that it would make a big deal, but it does.
But it does, because look at all the pressure, all the suction pressure. It's like that little line, that's gonna cause it for sure. Sure.
And it was a Hayward pump that didn't have. It only had like 2 inches of pipe on the discharge before a 90, and he's like, it never really primed all the way, and I'm like, it won't. Like a Hayward pump that's plumbed like that, it's not going to.
Yeah.
I have a Hayward VS 900 on my pool, but it's got like 14 inches of straight pipe on the inlet and like 24 inches of straight pipe on the outlet, and it's fully primed up to the lid.
It's
no air
running for like
bubbles.
it's running for like a mile before you get to the pump.
But because I knew with the Haywards though, if you had them plumbed real tight like that, like hydraulically, they just need more. They need
So
more.
what made you go with the Hayward for your personal pool?
The Try Me program.
You're like, I'll try it.
Automation, salt system, pump, and filter. Significantly cheaper on the Try Me. And I wanted to be able to confidently sell them. I have them on my pool and I don't have any issues. And we're going on like 3 years now. And I run my pump 24/7. So my pump is literally never turned off unless I'm doing a drain, a filter clean, or I'm emptying, or a salt cell clean, or I'm emptying the pump basket. It's the only time that thing turns off. And it works great.
What RPM setting do you have it at?
So I run it, well, I change it throughout the year. In the summertime, we run like 4 to 5 hours of like a high speed for the vacuum to be working really well. And so that's on my system, that can be like 2,800 RPMs. And then I'll drop it down to like 2,200 RPMs, which is still enough to activate the salt system for another 8 hours or so. So we chlorinate it for about 12 hours a day. And then after that, I drop it down to like 1,200 RPMs. Like I was playing
Just so the water moves.
I was playing with it. I was just seeing like how low I could put it where the pump would stay fully primed, and that's about 1,200 RPMs for me. Yeah, the other 12 hours is just real low and slow. And I run the real low and slow during the daytime when the electricity is more expensive.
Yeah. What's your bill look like?
For the pump itself, like maybe 30 to 50 bucks a month.
Bro.
And I don't ever net my pool. We have 2 skimmers and a vacuum. I never net my pool. I brush it, not as much as I should. And we have the salt system.
You never do. When it comes down to your own stuff, you never do. Gardeners never take care of their grass. Pool guys never take care of their pools.
Mechanics are always driving beaters.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
no, I tell people all the time, like, just run your pump, dude. It's the cheapest way to keep your pool clean and keep the water healthy is to move it.
What is it? A water's natural state is never to stand still.
No, it's always going to look to go somewhere. Gravity's going to push it somewhere. It's going to find the path of least resistance, and it's going to go there.
Meaning it needs to always be moving, and also that way the algae and all that crap. Yeah.
Yeah, moving water is cool for sure.
Yeah.
But we can. We'll just do a quick recap. So, the One Tap Connect business card / microsite app, awesome product. Love it so far.
Microglass.
Plug like microglass of detailed acid washes, just learning how to do things a level above what your competition's doing, and also trying to make all of your competition better so that everyone's prices are higher and everyone's providing a better level of service. Don't be scared of educating your competition. Like there's more pools out there than we can all do. It doesn't matter. Pool Nation, any sort of education that you guys can go to, highly recommend. Pool Nation has 2 programs. One of them's like 50 bucks a month, and the other one's 100 bucks a month. You get all the same stuff, except for the 100 bucks a month includes like tickets to the Pool Nation Award Show, the Pool Nation conferences, and you can bring your team to their conferences to take classes as well, and that's free and that's included. But as far as like all the other perks, they're all the same between the 50 and the 100 bucks a month. You can't afford 100 bucks a month, do the 50 bucks a month until you can afford to do 100 bucks a month. A little more thing. Oh, I think just like spending money on tools that are going to help you do a better job, like the Cyclone filter cleaner or whatever else it is, like using an impact to take your filters apart. It's going to save you 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I use my impact to put them back together, but I use them like I put it back together most of the way, and then I'll tighten it down with the manual so you don't over tighten and strip it, But literally spending 200 bucks on an impact saved me probably over the last 3 years, probably saved me freaking 30 plus hours on filter cleans.
Yeah.
So you gotta spend money to make money sometimes. You gotta spend money to do a better job, to save time.
And a word for the haters? For all the haters listening, because they do listen. What do you got to say to them, Zach?
Haters are gonna
They're
hate.
listen. No, they're listening to you right now. What does Zach has to say? What's going on?
Ain't,
What are you gonna
ain't,
tell them?
ain'ters gonna ain't. Haters gonna hate. You know what I mean? Like, what was that movie? It was with Riff Raff in it. You know what I'm
Haters
talking
gonna
about?
hate. Haters gonna hate.
Yeah. Whatever. The haters can be salty and hate, but they can do whatever they want. But I think
What is it? They hate us because they ain't us.
I think a lot of that, and I wore this shirt on purpose. This shirt says "Victor over victim." My whole family got these for Christmas. I really like to drive mindset with the kids. And this shirt came from a guy that I heard speak at an event for the youth that I sponsored out here. His name is Benjamin Care, and he was born with I think it's technically a disease or a syndrome, but his face wasn't fully formed. Like the muscles and the bones in his face didn't form right, so he looks different. And he ended up being a D1 wrestler where he's represented the United States of America in different wrestling tournaments. He's a wrestling coach. He's a motivational speaker. He's an author. He just had a autobiography movie get released. Dude's whole thing is mindset. Are you a victor or are you a victim? You get to choose. Something bad happens to you, you're different. He says he's like, his mom told him that he's different so he could make a difference. It's all
Yo,
about mindset. And people with the mindset of, I'm going to hate on this guy for trying to do more, are going to be in that mindset until they choose not to be. So that's really, you can't worry about that. Lions they don't care about what a gazelle thinks. You know what I mean? Like,
Eagles don't kick it with the chickens, dog.
they don't. So elevate what you're doing, be around people that make you want to be better and do better. People that want to drag you down, leave them behind.
Yep.
Otherwise, they're going to drag you down. You're going to be salty hater with them. Like you're going to be like, look at that guy over there thinking he's top shit, thinking he knows how to do stuff, going to classes to learn.
Look at Peter over there. Look at Pete over there, shaving his beard and mustache, thinking he looks young. All right, man. Let's give them your tip of the day. Let's give them the last piece of advice for the show. Something they can walk away with. What is it?
I think it's going to be pretty much the same as my tip of the day from the first podcast I was on with you. Is like, you know what? Find mentors, find education, find formal or informal mentors. Like I pay for business coaching from 3 different places. One of them teaches me about social media and branding. One of them teaches me how to structure a business and work on pricing and hiring and creating SOPs. And the other one is I'm gonna consider Pool Nation. I pay them $100 a month. I go to their stuff. I learn from them. They have resources. They have videos on training for chemistry and a bunch of other stuff. Like, take advantage of these things. Find these people. I'm not telling you to go and spend money you don't have on a business coach. There's books, there's ebooks. There's one that I just listened to. I think I have the physical copy of it on my desk. No, I don't. My wife must have put it somewhere else. But it's from this guy named Tommy Mello. He owns a garage door company that's going to do I think like $300 million this year. And the book is called Elevate, and it's all about elevating your employees and giving your employees the skills and the opportunities to be successful financially and make 6 figures. Like who thinks that a garage door installer that works for a company should make 6 figures? He thinks his people should make 6 figures. And because he gives them the tools and the strategies, and he uses what he calls performance pay. So like to get him to 100 grand or more, he might give them a base salary of 40, but they don't have a ceiling. They could make 200K. You that's you're going to be able to motivate people instead of giving them an $80,000 salary and they could only get 20 in bonuses. He's like, no, I'm going to give you 40 and I'm not going to give you a cap. And you're going to be able to make as much money as you possibly can. And I'm going to put you through all these sales trainings. I'm going to give you every resource you could ever need. And I really enjoyed his book, Elevate. It was good. I'll leave it with one story he had. He was speaking at a garage door conference, and he said, "We all know that we can buy the garage doors and the rollers and the tracks for about $1,500. And he goes, how many of you add $10,000 to that for the install?" And not one person raised their hand. And he's like, I heard some people out there, "Oh, that's a ripoff. I can't charge my clients that." And then he goes, how many of you add 7,000? Nobody raised their hand. 5,000. Nobody raised their hand. People started raising their hand when you got to like $2,000-$3,000 that they're adding on. And he goes, how many of you have employees that all drive brand new trucks? Nobody raised their hand. How many of you have employees that make six figures? Nobody raised their hand. How many of you have employees that have benefits and PTO and health insurance? Almost nobody raised their hand. How many of you have a presidential club in your company where the top salespeople get to go down to like Rocky Point or Cabo for a mastermind once a year? Nobody raised their hand. He's like, my people do all that because I add $10,000. I'm not ripping people off, but if you want to have somebody show up that's nice and clean cut and professional in a brand new wrap truck, has all the newest and best tools, is super nice to you because they're paid well enough, they don't have to do 17 jobs a day. If you need help taking down your Christmas lights, my guys will spend 2 hours helping you take down your Christmas lights. And it's a mindset thing. He saw the bigger picture, and then charging the highest prices around, but also providing the best level of customer service and providing a place where his employees can thrive and grow. That attitude within the company extrapolates out to what your clients are going to experience. So
There it is.
I think
I'm
if you
gonna leave them.
want to give your clients a good experience, you got to make sure you're treating your employees well too.
Yeah, because they're a straight representation of you. We're not there, so they're the ones that are going to provide that service. I'm going to leave them with, don't be proud. Get away from the know-it-all mentality, because it's not going to leave you any room to learn or know or grow,
100%.
which is pretty much what you said.
You
Yeah.
know everything, you don't. Somebody knows more than you. Somebody does it better. But you should go find that information. Go find that guy. Go buy him.
And don't come at the people that are trying to provide the information. Come on.
Yeah.
Come
Haters gonna
on.
hate.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Pool Fool podcast. Zach, thank you so much for being on the pod, man. It's always a pleasure to have you, brother.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. See you guys later. All right. Órale.
Let's vibe. Game so deep. Let's ride. From the valley to the masses, we know. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Pool podcast. Let's vibe. Game so deep. Let's ride. From the valley to the masses, we know. Let it flow, let